Arunāchala Shiva, Arunāchala Shiva, Arunāchala Shiva, Arunāchala. Arunāchala Shiva, Arunāchala Shiva, Arunāchala Shiva, Arunāchala. சோம்பியாய் சும்மா சுகமுண்டுறங்கிடில் சொல்வேரின் கதி அருணாச்சலா. சௌரியம் காட்டினை சழக்கற்றதென்றே சலியாதிருந்தாய் அருணாச்சலா. ஞமலியில் கேடா நான் என்னுருதியா நாடி நின்னுருவேன் அருணாச்சலா. ஞானமில்லாது ஆசையற்றளவர ஞானம் தெரித்தருள் அருணாச்சலா. நிமிரு போல் நீயும் மலர்ந்திலை என்றே நேர் நின்றனை என் அருணாச்சலா. தத்துவம் தெரியாதனையுற்றாய் தத்துவமிதுவென் அருணாச்சலா. தானே தானே தத்துவமிதனை தானே காட்டுவாய் அருணாச்சலா. திரும்பிய ஹந்தனை தினமக கண்காண் தெரியுமென்றனையன் அருணாச்சலா. தீரமில்லகத்தில் தேடியுந்தனையான் திரும்பவுற்றேன் அருள் அருணாச்சலா. துப்பறிவில்லா இப்பிறப்பெண் பயன் ஒப்பிடவாயேன் அருணாச்சலா. தூய் மனமொழியர் தோயும் உண்மையகம் தோயவையருளின் அருணாச்சலா. தெய்வமென்றுன்னை சாரவையன்னை சேர ஒழித்தாய் அருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சல சிவ, அருணாச்சல சிவ, அருணாச்சல சிவ, அருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சல சிவ, அருணாச்சல சிவ, அருணாச்சல சிவ, அருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சல சிவ, அருணாச்சலா.
உபாசகானாம் யதுபாசனீயம் உபாத்தவாசம் வடசாக்கிமூலே தத்தாமதாட்சிண்யஜுஷா ஸ்வமூர்த்யாம் ஜாகர்த்து சித்தே மம போதரூபம் அத்ராக்ஷம் அக்ஷீணதயாநிதானம் ஆச்சார்யமாத்யம் வடமூலபாகே மௌனேன மந்தஸ்மிதபூஷிதேன மஹர்ஷிலோகஸ்ய தமோனுதந்தம் வித்ராவிதாசேஷதமோ கணேன முத்ரா விசேஷேண முहुर्முனீனாம் நிரஸ்ய மாயாம் தயயா விதத்தே. தேவோ மகான் தத்துவமசீதி போதம் மமாத்ய தேவோ வடமூலவாசி கிருபா விசேஷாத் கிருத சந்நிதானஹ ओङ्काररूपाम् उपदिश्य विद्याम् आविद्यगध्वान्तमपाकरोतु सदाशिवसमुद्भूतशुद्धज्ञानैकरूपिणीं रमणाचार्यसम्पूर्णां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचला अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचला மீகாமன் இல்லாமல் மா காற்று அலைக்கலம் ஆகாமல் காத்தருள் அருணாச்சல. Every verse in Aksharamanamalai is a prayer for our own spiritual evolution, jnanam, vairagyam, and many verses are there which we call jnana samraksha, protection, safeguarding the experience. So here, yesterday we saw this verse where Bhagavan is asking Arunachala that give me that protection. It is all for us, not for him. All these prayers. Give me that protection, that guidance, that support, so that when destiny invades my life, this is what shakes a person from spiritual stability. In the Upanishad, there is a term which is called viryam. Viryam means vigor. Generally, viryam is vigor or courage of a warrior in the battlefield. But the Shruti, the Upanishad, speaks about viryam that arises from the inner self. Atma jnana viryam. Atmana vindate viryam. Vidyaya vindate amritam. So what is that viryam? Shankaracharya comments on that mantra. He says viryam is the power of knowledge. It is so potent that the person no more is overpowered by destiny. No more is overpowered by sensory objects. Vishayaihi anabhibhavatvam. Abhibhavatvam means overpowering. Anabhibhavatvam means no more overpowered. The jnanam is more powerful than any force that might hit the person from outside. Any event, any emotion, any attraction or repulsion, attachment or aversion, nothing can shake that jnanam, that attention, abidance on his self, that kind of vigor. The Shruti, Upanishad calls as Viryam. So, till that Viryam comes for a person where he needs no dependence from outside. As the very well known example of Sri Ramakrishna says, when you plant a tree, when it is only a small plant, very tender, then you should fence it very well. Safeguard it so that it is not eaten by animals or some other way it is not destroyed. Like that, in the beginning of spiritual life, the person need so much protection. And that protection is divinely given. Or the devotee himself is seeking that protection from God, from Ishvara. Mostly this protection comes from Guru, one's own Guru, or association with saints like Satsanga. Satsanga means you have direct contact with saintly people who can give you guidance in very, very small things in your life also. Each step you consult and move. This is for a sadhaka who is a full-time seeker. For him, he needs all these supports, props to protect him. So, one's own Guru might not be available always. So the same Guru Tattva can manifest in manifold ways, through various forms. You need a pure center which can guide you. If no guidance is forthcoming, not available, you pray from the heart, from within itself the guidance will come. So this is all like the support which Bhagavan says, because this Mahakat, great forceful storm, cyclone will come, invade. Will it? See, we are born, that is the problem. As Tirunavukkarasar says in one of his Devaram, Tondrinene. He says, Shiva, I don't know why I am born, but I am born. So from there onwards, these difficulties are there. Basic problems are there at least. You will grow old, disease will come. Somewhere somebody is waiting. This is, no? Somewhere. So, this is Mahakat. Katra means wind. Mahakatra means mighty wind of destiny. Ma Katru Alai Kalam. And our life is like a small raft, very powerless. Anything can topple it down. With such a small raft, we want to cross the ocean of samsara. So, here the devotee is seeking protection from Ishvara. Kat Arul Arunāchala. And yesterday we also saw one song from Tiruvasakam where Manikavajaka says, I have got a very small raft to hold on, but that raft is very safe. He says, this huge, stormy, turbulent ocean, I have caught hold of this small raft, but I am very confident that it will take me across. And what is that small raft? He says is the name of the Lord, the Panchakshara, the 5-lettered name. I have caught it. Anjaluthin punai pidithu kidakkindren. I am holding to that 5-lettered name, Panchakshara Namah Shivaya. I am holding to Namah Shivaya, and I am confident that it will take me across to the other shore. So, this is all support, You put your whole faith there, bhakti, that pure devotion, that holding to that, you can cross the samsara. So, Kat Arul Arunāchala, protect me and bestow your grace on me. Grace means what? Grace means not forgetting one's real nature is grace. Constantly giving you, reminding you. That is Satsanga. The highest form of grace is Satsanga. Bhagavata says, how will we know that God is gracious to us? And Bhagavata says that you will come to know when you get association of spiritually evolved beings, saints. Bhavapavargo Brahmato yata bhavet janasya tarhi achyuta satsamagamaha satsangamo yarhi tadeva sadgatau paravareshe tvai jayate matihi. When you get satsanga, true satsanga, your intellect, your attention is turned towards that supreme. Constantly you are made to recollect that truth, the self or Brahma or Ishvara in whatever form, bhakti, jnana or yoga, whatever form, your attention is turned towards the spiritual. So this is Arul, Kripa, grace. And so this verse, every verse in Aksharamanamalai is an invocation, invoking grace, inviting grace. And the next verse, in Tiruvannamalai, there is a story where when gods wanted to see the nature of Shiva, Vishnu travelled downward as Varaha, that is boar, and Hamsa, swan. Brahma travelled to the higher, towards head, as the swan, divine swan, Hamsa, and could not find the head or feet. So the story is like that. That story, from that story there is a usage in Tamil, Adi Mudi Kana, when you cannot find the head or tail of a problem. The problem is there, neither can you find the head nor can you find the end, feet or tail. So here in Indian English we use head or tail. I don't know whether it is there in American English. So Mudi adi kana mudi viduthu annai ner mudividak kadan ilai Arunāchala. Here Bhagavan tells Arunāchala, see, I have come here. I have put my life at your feet. Now it is your job, your kadan. You are in debt. It is your job to look after me. And there is another song, very well known Tamil song, where Devaram, where he says, என் தொழில் பணி செய்து என் கடன் பணி செய்து கிடப்பதே உன் தொழில் அடியனையும் தாங்குதல். There he says, I have a debt to pay, and that is I will do your service. But your toil means your duty, your work, your very nature is supporting me. It is not debt. He is not saying there that it is debt of Bhagavan. He says Bhagavan's very nature is he is constantly supporting. And his support is always there. Wind of grace is always there. In that song you see, தொழில் பணி செய்து கிடப்பது, என் கடன் பணி செய்து கிடப்பது. Pani means the work. The work for which this body has come, that the body has to do. Yesterday evening, I was famished, very tired. Morning this talk, after that I had to go to somewhere. There was an Aradhana, Samadhi day of a saint. After that evening, there was a Tamil talk near Arunachala temple in the OR Madam. By the time I reached there, I was very tired. But inwardly this song came. Pani Seydu Kidappad. It is his work, okay, we will present. Whether the talk will happen or not, it is his duty. We will go there, the body is tired. But when I reached there, it was energized. Filled with energy. Perhaps if I have not gone there, I would have been tired, sleeping. Tired. So, when you are ready to be a channel to him, it is his duty to fill you with his power, with his spirit, with his energy. What you have to do is vacate the place. He will fill that vacancy, that nothingness, with his fullness. There is a very beautiful anecdote where Krishna's flute. Krishna is playing his flute, and such melody, such beautiful music comes out of it. And one of his devotees, she asked the flute, that is Gopika, she asked the flute, what austerity you did? Because he is very often leaving us, but he is always keeping you and playing through you. Music comes through you. What austerity you did? And the that flute said, see Gopika, I am hollow, nothing is there. No obstacle, I have no will, I am hollow. Hence, it is possible for him to make the music flow through me. So too, if you become hollow, you will become holy. His hollowness. That is his holiness. You become vacant completely. Nothing is there. Completely nothing. And through that, he can fill his presence. You become nothing, you become nobody. Actually, you are nothing. You have to know it, that's all. Actually, you don't exist. This I is, there is a beautiful verse in Bhagavatam which says we are like puppets in his hand. Ishasya hi vashe lokaha yosha darumayi yatha. Like wooden puppets. And the person who is making it dance is behind. So too that divine power is making the body active, the mind active. Somewhere this alphabet comes I. It says I did, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. So, Mudividakkadanilai Arunāchala. Bhagavan says, Arunāchala, you have to fulfill my life. Mudiva here means end, means fulfillment, completion, fruition of my spiritual life. So, Arunāchala, it is your duty that you fulfill me, you make my spiritual life complete. Nothing remains as a wrong note there, negative note there. Remove everything. I try to do sadhana, then I find it there is no head or tail. Where to unlock? How to become free? When we were in school, 8th standard or 7th standard, I think it's 7th standard also. When somebody like a magician who wanted to display some tricks to children, he came to the class and he brought a ribbon with 3 knots in the ribbon. And he said, he was holding some other presentation, something like a prize. Whoever unties, removes this knot, to him this I will give. And many children stood up. They all tried to untie the knot. And at last, there was 35 or 36 knots in that ribbon. Due to our skill, we tried to solve the problem, and as a result, we created innumerable knots. And at last, he took the ribbon and somewhere he pulled the knot, 3 knots that he put, and all the 32 knots that we put, all were untied. Like that, there is a center. Where lies the lock? Where you have to put the key. Muruganar says about Bhagavan that he provided the key which can unlock the great treasure house. Kottamilladu kulabum shempurul pootai viduttanan untipara. That shempurul, that purna vastu, kottamilladu kulavum shempurul, that divine treasure which is perfection itself. Kotam means imperfection, flaw. No flaw, it is flawless, it is perfect. And that treasure trove was unlocked by Bhagavan. It says, Kottamilladu kulavum shempurul pootai viduthanan untipara pulavargal potrave untipara. All the sages are now singing his glory. Because he did that. And the key that he provided is You are searching for the keyhole in the drishyam. He made you turn towards the drik. That's all. From the seen to the seer. You are searching for solution of the problem in the world. As a result, so much complexities are created. Our life has become such a complex thing thanks to all our schools, colleges, universities. Very, very complex. For what? To make life simple. To make life simple, we have made it what we call a caricature. Complete complex. And what is the solution for this problem? The solution for this problem is searching for the person who is suffering. Who is experiencing this problem? Wake up from the dream. Seek the dreamer. Find out who is the dreamer. So the mudiche, the knot is there, the knot of the heart, Hridaya Granthi, as we call it, Hridaya Granthi. The knot is in the center in the heart as I, me, mine. So the attention is turned towards that, seeking the experiencer, the doer, the enjoyer. And when you turn towards that center and ask who is experiencing these complexities, who is having all these problems in life, suffering, who is suffering? It is all, the answer is only me, I. And when you focus on that I and inquire, investigate the very nature of the I thought, then you find that the I thought, the Jiva Bhava, it vanishes in the heart, revealing what Muruganar said as Kottamilladu Kulavum Shempurul. Something which is flawless, something which is eternally free, something which is eternally awakened, something which is eternally pure. This is what Shankaracharya very often says, Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta. It is Nitya, eternal, Shuddha, pure, Buddha, awakened, Mukta, free. So Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Swabhavam Brahma. As long as the person is identifying with this I thought, this limited individual sense, this dream will continue, this suffering will continue. Maya is doing immense job to steal your attention, so that you will not ask this simple question, who am I? You will ask some other questions. The simple question, who is suffering? Who is seeking spirituality? Who is doing sadhana? It is all this I. And the moment you turn towards that I, then you find that this mudiche, this knot, is resolved, untied, dissolved. There is no knot there. You find that you are eternally free. And the only problem is forgetfulness. You forget. Remind. Recognize. Go back to that. Here Bhagavan uses a beautiful word. He says, Annai Ner. He says, like mother. You have to support me. And you know the mother here is what? The last verse Bhagavan says, Vedantam. That is mother. Because for a sannyasi, where is mother? For a sannyasi, mother is, this jnanam is mother. Shankaracharya says, a mother who is compassionate than hundreds of mothers put together. And who is that mother? This Upanishad Vidya, this Shruti Mata. Matra Shatebhyaha Karunaya Gariyasi. Atikatama. Hundreds of mothers you put together, they will only make you go back to samsara. They will only create trouble. Because as long as love is not backed by intelligence, jnanam, sometimes it is more dangerous than hatred. It will pull you down. But this Shruti Mata, she is Divine Mother. Upanishad Vidya is Divine Mother. And she gives you this knowledge that you are free now here. Not as the body, not as the mind, not as this ego. But you look behind, deep within you, and you find that your very nature is bodiless, mindless, egoless. It is eternal. It is absolute. It is pure. Don't slip back to ignorance. Whenever you slip back, go back. That is Mikaman, last verse. Bhagavan said, give me support. We will slip back. Generally, Shankaracharya in Brahma Sutra Bhashya, there is a sutra where it says Avarti Rasakrit Upadeshat. The Upanishad has given Asakrit Upadesha. Asakrit Upadesha means many times the Upadesha is repeated. Why should that be repeated? Only once, Tattvamasi, enough. Why should again and again you listen, you contemplate? What is the need? Once you listen, you can be awakened. Acharya says that is very rare. Very rare. Seldom somebody wakes up like that. Very rare someone wakes up to knowledge. Once they listen and they are free. Very rarely it happens. With Bhagavan also, very rare beings sometimes walk in and he tells something to them, that is over. Bhagavan usually quotes the story of Janaka, that he went to Ashtavakra, he was sitting on his horse, and Ashtavakra gave him Upadesha. He said, surrender and come down, jump. He tried to jump. His feet, one feet on the stirrup, another feet lifted. His attention was locked on the self. He said, oh, there is no world, there is no body. Etavantam aham kalam mohenaiva vidambidaha. Till now I was in delusion. Where is this world? Where is this body? Kvagatam. Kenavanitam. Kutralenam idam jagat. Adhunaiva maya drishta. Nasti edat mahadadbhutam. It comes in Vivek Chudamani actually. The disciple after enlightenment, he says, where is the world? It was seen few minutes before. Where is the body? It was there here. Now it is not seen. Kvagatam. Kenavanitam. Kutralenam. Where did this merge? Adhunaiva maya drishtam. Just now, few minutes back, it was there. Now it is not there. Nasti etad mahadadbhudam. This is great wonder. So like that, Janaka says, there is nothing here other than Brahman. That jnanam happened in a moment. Like this, it happened. So quick, because attention was turned towards the truth, the self, like that. Story is very interesting, right? But we are experts to come back. And it is not wrong. Shankaracharya says 99% it will be like that. So, avarti, repetition. Constantly, again and again, listen, contemplate, meditate. Listen, reflect, meditate. Constantly, again and again, inquire into this nature. As Bhagavan says, thoughts will come, ideas will come, emotions will come, vasanas will arise. Then you ask, to whom this come? Who is seeing this? Who is experiencing this? It is all I, me. And then you pay attention to this I, this me. You learn this art of Hridaya Vidya. This Hridaya Vidya, this art of focusing your attention on this dance of this strange throb within. This mantra which arises within as the first person. Feeling of first person. Not, you can say in English it is I, but it is not I. In Sanskrit we say aham, in Tamil non. Actually it is not made of language. It is a spandana, it is a vibration in the center which everyone knows. Every creature knows. Ya tiryang nara devata bhirahamityanta sputa grihyate. In the devatas, in the animals, right from the amoeba to Brahma, unicellular organism, to the highest deva, everywhere this feeling of I is there. So the vichara which Bhagavan reveals is this, that you turn your attention towards this feeling, this spandana, this throb of I. When you get angry, when you are insulted, when you go through painful experiences, then you find, why me? What is happening to me? This I. Then you turn your attention towards this I, this throb, this spandana. Look at this throb, this spandana, and ask, what is this I? What is this? Hold on to this feeling of this I within. And then you find that this feeling of this I, ahankara, ego, it is churned from within, a kind of churning. The Upanishad also says mathana, churning. Mathana means churning. A kind of attrition happens, churning happens. Then you find that this I thought is touching every nerve. The entire nervous system, mind, body is all filled with this I thought. So when you actually focus on this I thought, then you find that your whole body is being churned, stirred. It is not simply that academic knowledge that you know, this I is unreal. No. Because I is power. Bhagavan says it is the mind. This I thought is mind. Vrittayastu aham vrittimashritaha vrittayo manaha viddhi aham manaha. This aham is mind. This I is mind. So the whole attention is turned towards this throb of I within. And there is great churning. A kind of mystical rite happens there. The Dahara Vidya, Hridaya Vidya, which Bhagavan reveals. And then this I, it shines forth as what Bhagavan calls as Spurti, Spurana, Spandana, Spurana. Dance of deeper energy, which is not the mental energy, psychic energy. Mukhya prana, the Upanishad calls it as Mukhya prana. Something which is, it replenishes you from within. It rejuvenates you, it washes you clean with sacred waters from within. It is the Akasha Ganga, the celestial Ganga, which cleanses you thoroughly, completely within, which the yoga, tantra all called as Kundalini. But the difference is when they speak about Kundalini, it arises from the Mooladhara Chakra to Sahasrara. But when we speak about this, it opens from the heart, Anahata Chakra. Because Mooladhara, Swadhisthana and Manipuraka is active in almost every person. Food, survival instinct, procreation instinct, all that field, that fear, protection, this all very active in every person. The first glimpse, peeping into the spiritual life happens in the Anahata Chakra, where the person comes in contact with the Guru, with the initiatory stream. From there it begins. From there the flow happens. Shatanchaika hridayasya nadyaha tasam murdhanam abhinisritaika tayordhvamayan amritattvameti vishwanganya utkramane bhavanti. As the Upanishad says, 101 nadis, and that one nadi, one nerve arises from the heart to the head. Tata udagadananta tavadhama shiraf paramam. As the Shruti Gita says, from there till then it is like an ant, pipilika marg. Like ant it creeps. From there it suddenly opens its wings into the celestial realm. From there the person is no more in a corporeal level, plane. Not in the flesh, not in the body level. It is not like that you keep the body and the force arises from the Mooladhara to Sahasrara. No. The moment it just enters into the Anahata Chakra, no more it is in the bodily plane. It is not in the physical plane at all. It is into the infinitude. It is into the divine realm. Then that mudi, that mudi, it goes to the mudi from Adi. Adi is this Mooladhara, and it comes up to the level of the heart, Arunāchala. From there it goes to mudi, to the head. And the head is not this. That also you should know. Adi is the body, mudi is the infinitude. Tata udagad ananta tavadhama shiraf paramam. The Upanishad is called Shira. Upanishad is called head. And from the heart itself, body is not there. Then what to speak about the neck or the brows or the head? Nothing exists there. So it is all infinitude only, and that is the heart center. which Bhagavan speaks, it is not in the body. The body, the world, everything arises there, stays there, merges there, and that heart center which Bhagavan speaks about, that Anantatavadhama Shiraf Paramam, that Ananta Dhama, that abode which is infinite, which is boundless, which is beyond time, space, causation. Into that field, to that realm, level, the force travels, that is Mudikanal. Mudi Adikana Mudi Vidut Annainer. See, the story is very symbolic. If you want to go down, you should be like a pig. Drainage. If you want to go up, you should be like a swan. Hamsa. Jnanam. So there, Mudividak Kadanilai Arunāchala. So give me that completion of spiritual experience, Arunāchala. Is it not your duty to undo my ego knot, which is so tangled that neither the beginning nor end can be found? And please pour forth your compassion like a mother does to a child. That Matru Tattva. Annai Ner. You be my mother. Pitahamasya Jagataha Mata Dhata Pitamaha. Vedyam Pavitram Omkara Riksama Yajurevacha Gatir Bharta Prabhusakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrit Prabhavav Pralayasthanam Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. So, you are my mother, Arunāchala. Atma is mother. Motherhood you experience in the heart. Motherhood means what? Affection, protection, love, safety. You feel that joy of motherliness. So Divine Mother looked after Bhagavan like as a mother will look after her child in every way. Bhagavan was wandering in Arunāchala in blazing heat. At least now there are so many trees. During Bhagavan's time there were no trees, no plant. You can see in the photo also, you can see Arunāchala, only boulder and rocks, as Ganeshan has written. Rocks and boulders, nothing. Very dry, very barren mountain. It had its own strange beauty. Those who have seen that form, they will know. We want to make it green by our own bhavana, imagination. But that barren mountain had its own beauty. So there, Bhagavan used to wander every bit in Arunāchala. Bhagavan says, there is not a single spot where my feet has not touched. So much he was wandering. And once he was coming down from the top of mountain, a old lady, this village woman, she was sitting there. And very irreverentially, she called, "Hey, Swami." And there was so much love in that call. She said, "Why are you wandering like this?" Very, very slang, you can say abuse. She was firing Bhagavan. She said, Padala means, what will we say? So dead body is taken in that structure, Take the body to the pyre. So, you should be put in that. She says. And to whom she is saying? She is saying this to Bhagavan. She is saying, why are you wandering in this terrible heat like this? Bhagavan said, I was wondering, who is this? Unless she knows me, she will not dare to say such words. But if she knows me, she will not say this. See, there is a conversation of Aurobindo where Aurobindo says, according to his own vision, he says, it was Divine Mother who spoke like this to Bhagavan. Aurobindo had a conversation with his devotees where he says, it was Divine Mother who spoke like this to Bhagavan when he was wandering in the hill like this. And some devotee, we like this creating, all this gossip, So somebody brought what Aurobindo spoke to Bhagavan. And they said, see Bhagavan, Aurobindo has said that it is Divine Mother who spoke like this. Bhagavan said, yes, her work is like this, that she will be constantly disturbing me like this in my austerity. This is spoken by Bhagavan. It is there in the record. So Bhagavan says, she constantly disturbs me like this. Like a son who tells about his mother. She will be constantly finding fault with me, speaking something like. So, that Divine Mother element, that principle was there behind as a great protection. Sometimes, spiritually also, it's a strange thing. It's a mystical thing. That the thirst for that motherhood comes. I don't know how these Christians are managing with only father. This thirst for motherhood comes. And there is, of course, one devotee, Shiva devotee, Ramalinga Swami, was a great saint. He sang about Nataraja, Chidambaram, where he said, Tadittavor Maganai, Tanda Yirndadittal Tayudan Anaipal. தாய் அடித்தால் பிடித்தொரு தந்தை அணைப்பன் இங்கெனக்கு பேசிய தந்தையும் தாயும் பொடித்திருமேனி அம்பலத்தாடும் புனிதனி ஆதலால் என்னை அடித்தது போதும் அணைத்திடல் வேண்டும் அம்மையப்பா இனி ஆற்றேன். Very beautiful song. He says, a son, a boy, who doesn't listen to the parents. Such a boy. சொன்னா கேட்காம என்ன சொல்றது? Disobedient. He is very disobedient, misbehaves. Such a boy, if father beats, mother will hug him. If mother is beating, father will come and say, no, don't beat. And he will embrace the child. But unfortunately, I have only one who is father and mother. He says, Nataraja Shiva says, you are my father, you are my mother, no one else. So, enough of this beating. Adittadu podum. All this beating is enough. Anaithidal vendum. Now you have to embrace me. Ammayappa. And he calls Shiva as Ammayappa. Ammai means mother, Appa means father. You are my mother-father principle. You are my mother, you are my father. I have no one else. So now, enough of this giving suffering. Enough of this giving pain. Now I need that oneness, feeling of oneness with you. So this is the prayer. So this mother principle, Swami Vivekananda, such a intellectual giant in his last days. Swami Sri Ramakrishna used to say, Naren, however you may act like an intellectual, you are an emotional person. He used to say that. So in his last days, in many of his letters it comes, he says, enough of all this guruhood, this becoming a world teacher, teaching others, ruling others, that all the superstition, the superimposition is over. Now only mother, divine mother, divine mother. That feeling of that thirst for that motherhood, that lap of mother, that abode of mother, Ganesha is very happy. He is always like that. He is always a mother partial devotee. So, that motherhood, that divine motherhood. So here Bhagavan says, Untying. Enough, you are my father. When he came, he said, Arunāchala is my father. But here he says, Arunāchala is my mother. Ammayum appanum ahi enai aaki alit. As the mother-father principle, as mother and father, you brought me here, protected me, gave me spiritual experience, gave me spiritual protection. Everything you bestowed before I could fall into this worldly life, bondage of this worldly suffering, you pulled me back, brought me back to your lap. So this is Bhagavan's experience. So, Untying mudividakkadanilai. Put an end to this buffoon life. Arunagirinathar says, Komali Valkai. In Tamil he says, Komali Valkai. Peyon Nadathu Komali Valkai. Enough of this life like a buffoon. I want to merge, become one with you, Arunachala. So, Mudi Adikana, Mudi Vidakkadanilai. Mudi Viduttu Untying, Mudi Vidakkadanilai Arunachala. So, this is the song, 80th verse now. And the 81st verse, Mukkilan Mungattu Muhura Mahadenai Thukki Anaindu Arul Arunachala. This verse, Bhagavan says, Arunachala is shining forth in front of us like a mirror. The mirror is there to reveal to you your perfection. Instead, if it is revealing to you your imperfection, that's a problem. So, a person whose nose is cut and he is standing in front of a mirror, what will he see? He has an ugly face. So, Arunachala, be not like a mirror held before the face of a man with no nose. But lift me up, unite me with yourself. Take me up from this worldly mire and make me experience that oneness with you, Arunachala. This is the song. We will continue from tomorrow. It is better to stop in Purna. Mudi, whole, perfect. Arunāchala Shiva, Arunāchala Shiva, Arunāchala Shiva, Arunāchala, Arunāchala Shiva, Arunāchala Shiva, Arunāchala Shiva, Arunāchala. Arunāchala Shiva, 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 Arunāchala, Arunāchala Shiva, Arunāchala Shiva.
Shiva, Arunāchala Shiva, Arunāchala